Welcome everyone. As you guys can see, today I'm using StreamYard to record this new video. And today, guys, we're gonna dive into the world of comments. Comments on Professor Pegasus latest video with me. And then eventually I will go into comments section of his videos about other content creators that he has done criticism videos about. And usually I forget to mention many of them that he did videos about, and usually mention like the ones that I just remember that I recently watched his videos criticizing them. But there are many more. And what I can tell you before I will show you the comments from that video is that Professor Pegasus, guys, positions himself as being such a what do you call him? Uh, like brain behind businesses, or has a degree, as he claims. Maybe he does. It doesn't matter. He claims to be that business person, high end, or in a way where he can teach other people about business. And it's fine. I don't want to like dive deep into this. That's like whatever. Um, what I can tell you is that his ego is up there, which I talked about in the last video. There are a lot of business people, Professor Pegasus, as you probably learned yourself. But do you see those business people who have good degrees from universities and, of course, own big companies? I don't think, in my opinion, that you own a big company itself. Like, you probably own a business. You never share it. Maybe you share it within your own group, but you don't share it with everyone. In a reselling community here, for example, you don't share your uh, how many employees you may have, or if you do it like with certain amount of people. Doesn't matter. What I can tell you is there is like very limited amount of business people, as you claim to be, business person with knowledge, drawing stuff on whiteboards. You don't see people come out from communities on YouTube much to criticize other similar type of um, business, as you claim it to be. Your business is a little bit different since you're also reseller. And my hustle, or my whatever you can name those things, and then you can claim that some people don't understand business from hustle. So anyway, and a bunch of other resellers in the community here, and as we know it, right? And I know that you're not part of it. You're just there to criticize um, content creators. Not all, but there are certain amount that you did already. And we can go over those types of things in the next video. So, but before I pull up that video on the screen, I want to say that if you position yourself as such a guru, you have a certain amount of followers. You're loyal, disrespectful, some of them followers that you know say certain things that you kind of wonder what kind of followers with certain degrees that you have, limited degrees, that can talk about people that way, putting people down, saying bad words, stuff like that. Of course, you're gonna come out and you one of your videos say, "Oh, look, you're in the reselling community. You also have people like that speak like that, right?" So we're kind of, that's what you probably gonna say. We're kind of equal in that, but in reality, it's not like something that happens a lot anyway, compared to your loyal followers or viewers. There is not so much trash talking in community here in reselling community, in between resellers in the community who comment, right? Who comment on videos of other resellers compared to yours. Of course, there are some loons or some what your crowd calls people, stuff like that. So let me open up this video, guys, because there are actually normal comments from some individuals who are intelligent at least. And of course, there will be some idiots. And unfortunately, those are cowards, those are keyboard warriors, and there's nobody afraid to talk about it. A lot of content creators throughout the years have endured this trash. And unfortunately, those people have no life. And that's what happens. A lot of content creators are very nice. That's what Professor Pegasus kind of was able to escape, except me, that kind of went forward and tried to, do certain things about him, talking about him, right? Of course, Professor Pegasus did not get that from other content creators. He may have gotten a little bit from James. It wasn't that bad, by the way. Maybe some other ones, but not a lot compared to what Professor Pegasus does in his criticism of content creators that he identifies as not business people, as hustlers, kind of, in a way, even though he doesn't know their life and just assumes certain things, in my opinion, for certain reasons, right? He, for example, which I will show you, he thought my humorous approach to the video about replenishables that I kind of was showing two items, he thought it was serious, and he put that in his video, in the end, like showing, oh, Roman agrees with, he will do the same thing. So, but I'll show you some of the comments. So let's dive into that. Let's share the screen, guys, and we'll discuss certain comments. I know this is not a professional video, as you see from Professor Pegasus, but it is what it is, guys. You've learned throughout my journey on YouTube that I'm not the person that has the flashy cutouts or edits. So bear with me. I mean, I appreciate you. So here's a video with Professor. Yes, Professor is, is very important, of course, for the community. Look at him, guys, the Professor. Anyway, so we're not gonna watch certain parts of that. So let's go into his comment section. And I want to point out normal comments in the beginning, because there are people that actually, let me do the newest ones, sort by newest. So he got currently 83 comments on that video about me and James' health history. See, anything I do is triggering them. And anyway, I'm not gonna discuss that title, whatever. So here's the thing, guys. Let me show you a couple of normal comments, and one of them actually is very good. So bear with me. Let me find it. It's a big comment. Here, I think it's the one. Yes. So see, this comment is from the user MS Unites 2977. And as you can see, that's a big comment. If you were in his comment section, you probably read it and understood what that particular user wrote, which is very good stuff. Even for Professor Pegasus standards. See, let's see, he replied here, of course. But anyway, you can read that comment. For example, let me, how much time already I did on the video just now. I think like 5-7 minutes. So here's what Miss Unites write. Miss Unites 2977. Oh my, what? Dang. Mason, this is America. And a whole lot of the population is easily triggered. I guess in some aspects we're all given the right topics in our friendships, folks not to mention brainwashing and then some. I think I said it before. At times I am requested to help moderate a very significantly sized political forum that has a representation of users and pretty wide mindset of audience. I'm very careful about not triggering people within it because that is a mechanism to have respect rendered whether agree or not. I don't know Roman at all, really, but him being from Russia, actually, once again, which is I always corrected, not from Russia, actually, I'm from Uzbekistan, which is a former Soviet Union country. So it's another topic that a lot of people in this country don't know, former Soviet Union countries, but we're gonna not gonna talk about it. Everyone considers, see, that's a bad type of understanding. A lot of people don't understand that people who speak Russian, they're not from Russia. See, that's not necessarily. There are a lot of people who speak Russian. They're completely from different countries, from former Soviet Union. But that's for another day. In the current charged climate, I'm 110% certain that he has taken his share of goof. Yet, what I've known of him is he is very open about the state of Russia and its political sphere of despise. At the same time, most Americans do not have a clue as to why Russia is as Russia, and which stems back to the fall of USSR and promises from West that in ways were delivered and another way resulted in enormous disaster inside Russia that has resulted in today's Russia a direct correlation. So when he speaks of immigrants and those who look, create, or rate, act differently, I personally know people of Asian descent who have bore the burden of hatred due to the Americans being both draft to history, reality, shallow thinking, shipification, and administration who that uses it to move towards nationalism, arguably fascism. Yet those folks are very American, in many cases more so than their shallow-minded detractors. It's actually true to some point, guys. I know I'm not gonna make a lot of people happy, but there is truth about that. The average American does not understand, for example, China's late emergence into the modern day world, and in doing so, learning how to be affecting within it. Concepts of centralized manufacture versus distributed and more, much more. President after president will say the American worker is the best in the world, able to compete against any others. Yet they never complete the sentence, as long as it is on our terms. Now, those terms, of course, vary widely: human dignity, fair wages, and on and on and on and on from a westernized perspective. On here, Mason, you have people who engage in constructive dialogue in your comments, and those that are no different. That's a great point. No different than what I described above, and I'd imagine that's a constant across YouTube anti-social media channels. Ask what is right. I can see in full how having a dialogue will say Josh and all in agreement in cool beans, but showing down during it can definitely appear sharky. Would that happen in a professional debate, a boardroom, on stage in front of thousand business people? What do you think about that, Professor? TEDx professional discussion. No, no on all fronts. Presentation matters. Heck, presentation is 80% of everything, at least in America. That's how smart people make those who are not think that they are smart too. That's not a knock, it's just the lay of the land here, and has been for well most of the nations, if not all of its sorted history. Tell me I'm wrong. In your if on your channel you will always keep a professional presentation versus injections of personality traits, one could pretty much guarantee that all these cottage sellers would be far more receptive. I've taken some business courses and not ever have facilitators or educators tried make examples of students who get it wrong. It's self-control. Every CEO on the planet has personality but it's not often used in boardroom or among shareholders to seemingly demean others. You hearing that, Professor Pegasus? Even competitors, albeit I have seen that in the video game industry back in the day. It's rampant in politics, not because it's politicians, the direct target of attack, banter, etc., but the American people reactivity. All those folks are people, and whether they're wrong, right, or someplace in between does not mean respect of professionalism itself need to go out of the window. It doesn't. You see, Professor Pegasus, that's a smart person writing comment in your comment section. The phrase of respect is earned comes to mind, but just as often as not, that phrase holds little weight in reality, doesn't it? I'm rather shocked by James and then again not. One can push buttons, but how they're pushed matters. This online flea marketer sees their business as something personal, and then content creators fit themselves into social media as if it is a profession. It is not a profession. Profession means professional, and usually under formal education, even in the trades. I'd a, I'd a plumber over my place yesterday, and his younger brother sells online under his account. That younger brother is 14. I mean, what more needs to be said? Does that make him a professional? Why are you expecting professional dialogue or even the reasoned dialogue come out of the sellers when it's not reciprocal respect? If it is your goal on your channel to have sellers be able to take it to a next level, or those starting to not be misinformed, then present as such. I couldn't see for a moment, say, a professional business educator critiquing various businesses with any laughter, banter, or snarky prose. Sounds familiar, Professor Pegasus? Is that what you're doing to other content creators? Presentation counts, and that is why many of these folks attribute your critique as mechanism of channel growth. I'm telling you that that's a dead end, because to take it to the next level, you need to be on that next level, and that's more than information. It's presentation. Enough said. And here's Professor Pegasus' reply. There is a difference between intentionally using incendiary language to offend and incite, and people who are simply unhinged. You used to disagree with this channel and its message. Did you go off the deep end? Did you start throwing things and smash a calculator? Ironically, people like him are exactly the ones who need the most help that reselling channels cannot provide. There is no constructive dialogue that can be conducted with someone who reacts this way. The help he actually needs I cannot provide, nor it is my duty. It talks about me now. The goal is to find and work with like-minded people, people who are seeking. See, that's a problem, guys. Then what this particular person wrote misunites. See, once again, which I can bring back here, where it says that he's snarky. So he's pretty much what Professor Pegasus does. He's kind of making fun of people in a way. It's not a. He doesn't seem to be a professional business person, because when he shows certain ways in his videos, like with me and James, it shows that he just does it for humiliating purposes. If you think about it in other ways, you may not agree. You may agree with Professor here, but that's not necessary. And Professor Pegasus doesn't understand it, apparently, because he would rather humiliate someone on YouTube, uh, and instead of logically not doing something, right? As a business person that he claims to be professional business person, he didn't have to, for example, do that video. What did that particular video with me and James prove to someone? Nothing. Just which I will show you some comments right now. Some idiots, keyboard warriors that he produces, pretty much that Professor produces for those humiliating videos that he makes to make fun or just show people, right? Thinking that those people are crazy, unhinged. He's not a freaking medical professional. Professor Pegasus is not a doctor, and not of those of his commenters that I will show you the comments from. As they claim in a funny way, because I want to make it humorous too. They're all kind of considered to be, apparently, in his comments, to have medical degrees. That they can tell person throwing calculator is crazy. He's crazy. We already diagnosed him over the internet. We're all doctors with medical degrees from medical schools. But anyway, the same they said about James a little bit. Um, anyway, so you can read those. The goal, which here writes, the goal to find and work with like-minded people who are seeking more and can learn through reasoning, people who think that all I do is trash talk others, are as simple-minded as their oversimplified assessment. Many have attempted to adopt this reductive approach, but have been unable to achieve same results. I post videos openly explaining everything for anyone who wants to listen. Also openly post on my Discord. Anyone who truly wants to change my mind and make a difference can come find me. He's probably hiding from everyone. Find him at his location. Anyone who disagrees with anything I said can make a video on it. I welcome anyone who wants to challenge me to debate. I'm already meeting people more than halfway. All of my detractors are the actual keyboard warriors. See, that's what happens. Keyboard warriors. That he produced his own loyal keyboard warriors. They don't want discourse. They want to make a spectacle in the comments. I often allow those comments because they embarrass themselves and lack the self-awareness to see it. See, that's a thing about it too. Um, by the way, I never commented any time on his videos. I read his comments, which I've done, but never commented. I don't owe anyone professionalism outside of my clients. This is a YouTube channel, not an office that takes walk-ins. Anyone who thinks they can demand anything from anyone in a commentary is the definition of entitlement. There is no excuse for this guy's behavior. So, and then misunites exactly, but it's not just here. So anyway, let me, because it's gonna be long. You can read that thread because it's actually a very good thread. I read it, uh, the talk between Professor and Miss Unites. The thing about it, Professor Pegasus, is that there are videos that you can make, but videos that are not necessary, for example, and the videos that were you yourself, as you probably also think that you're professor of medicine, and your commenters thinking that throwing stuff, screaming at you, is something that people don't do. You're making a mistake, Professor. You probably have been living under the table a lot and not seen people do that in the real world. Go to the Goodwill Beans, for example, and you will see some stuff between certain people screaming, fighting. You're probably living in your dream world and you don't know how people can react, how people can get emotional. Why I got emotional on this video that I made? Because you, in your comments, said something about my accent in a negative way, not in a positive way, in a negative way. And then you claim, which is a lie, which I'll make a video about, that you never attack anyone personally. It's another thing. You always say in your videos, Professor, that you never attack anyone personally. Well, you attacked me personally, so you lied. And verbally, you will say, no, I didn't. I didn't say it in any of my videos, but in the comments, you did. And then you claim you didn't attack anyone personally. So think about it for a moment. Then you'll say, oh, you're like in that video, he said, oh, you're making fun of your own accent. But I can make fun of my own accent in a funny way, not in a harsh or negative way. Anyway, let me show you guys another good comment. And I've seen this guy in his comments before. So this is gonna be Wild Bill. Yeah, right here. Wild Bill 1519. So he writes, I spent an hour doing a deep dive Roman has more videos than he has subscribers, which is true. Seriously, rarely does any of his videos break into the triple digits. His top two numbers grossing views, which were both in the mid 2000s, I mean mid 200s, was about the channel Pegasus Lounge. Part of the tower was doing some looking into other channels, but I digress. The irony, he claims, uh, you're you're attacking channels with greater subscribers for your personal gain. But I just looked at his channel with 1.39k and some channel called Buy Low Sell Chai or something to that effect with about 5.7k subscribers. And 3 months ago he did a video dogging Pegasus Lounge. James's channel has 21.7k. The only three you've done critiques on with more is Kerry with 40.7, Kevin with 85.2, and Chachin King with 92.6. So that's while building on check, there's Tekken Sports. He did a video about. There is Reseller Brothers that have certain amount of subscribers. He did a video on Heather, Cosmic Heather. Um, So there are some that have decent amount of subs, but doesn't matter. So that shows that you don't discriminate. Even Josh Galt has only 10.1k. For me, the humorous part in that, in the midst of doing my research, the algorithm knows that I enjoy scraping electronics and appliances. So it had a few videos suggested based on the topic. One 13-year-old video talking about scraping tin cans, food cans, gathered over 41k views. Does that mean that more people are interested in scraping tin cans than reselling? The world may never know. See, those are normal, intelligent people in his comments. They don't call other people crazy. They don't offend anyone. They don't put people down like bullies. They just, write stuff like that, normal stuff. And while Bill is absolutely like, I agree, whatever. While Bill, the only thing that I can tell you is you can compare the numbers if you're gonna ever watch this video. He's done more videos about channels with much more subscribers compared to channel like mine with almost no subscribers. So that's the only difference. But I'm not discriminating in any way. I think that for his own kind of purpose, he is trying, of course, to find channels that have more subscribers to try to criticize. Because how many channels, if you do your research, you're gonna find that do this kind of educational stuff with less subscribers, not so many. So that's possibly why it happens. But I don't. I mean, it's not an issue. It's not an issue. It's just still, think about it. Would someone rather watch a video with me or James that he used this time, and how many of the views he will get, right? So currently on this video, he got 1.3k views with me and James in it. If you look at the one he did with Tekken Sport or Carry at Home or John Flipping in Easy or Josh Galt, those got more views, and that shows that people would rather kind of watch those types of videos with bigger channels compared to someone like me or James has 21k views, so I mean 21 point something thousand. So I mean, we'll see. I mean, maybe it's gonna go up in numbers, but I think it shows you possibly why the differences. He would most likely get more views with those content creators that have more subscribers. Next, guys, we got some idiots, keyboard warriors. As Professor claims, keyboard warriors that come to his videos. By the way, on this latest video, I looked through. I don't recognize anyone from reseller community, so there's mostly people of his loyal viewers here. So here we go. We got medical professionals here. Some I recognize. There's this guy right here, Griffin Contracting, as you can see. I don't know if you guys see it on your end, but most likely you do. Griffin Contracting wrote Roman is a walnut brain, low hanging fruit, if you will. And then this idiot came over to my comment section. I rarely get his followers come to my comments because I never comment on his videos. but they are so proud of their teacher Pegasus, they come to shit and crap on other channels that never comment on his. That's why it's kind of unusual, but it happens once in a while. So this Griffin Contracting is one of the keyboard warriors covers that came over. I mean, I don't know. We'll choose. There is actually more, of course, that I will show you. So he came over to my section. Let's see where this video is. I will share it later, guys, because I need to close that screen and show it to you next time in my videos what he wrote. That Griffin Contracting. It was on a video, I think, where I was throwing calculator, where Professor Pegasus and some of his followers diagnosed me with things. All great doctors of medicine. If keep to business at least, don't become doctors. Like one of the medical professionals said one in his channel, there are so many people trying to diagnose people who have no freaking medical backgrounds. It's just funny because you stick to your own lane. If you know business, stick to business. If you know medical, stick to medical, right? Or some other things, construction, or anything that you're good at. All right, here's where is that comment? Let me see. Oh, here's another keyboard warrior. Anthony Thomas experience. That second guy sniffing something. He had me rolling. See, another person who can diagnose. And then he says, ha ha ha, what are spelling error, Pegasus, professor? You got spelling error people here. Cannot spell. Who is those two guys sniffing or smoking? Who is? Um, all right. There are some, I mean, this is funny kind of comment from Live Short 5. I want to create an old school wrestling video game with Pegasus launch in his black t-shirt, but I wanted to make a video about this, but later. Against Roman and other resellers. Pegasus' special move will be breaking out his best selling steering wheel cover to put a stranglehold on his opponent. Well, that one is at least funny. It's not like stupid or keyboard warrior like. It's normal, funny comment. Then we got Amazon Sucks, who wrote all these reseller channels are cringes AF. Then this Utoria guy wrote, this dude has 1.4 thousand videos posted and 1.39 thousand subscribers. Gains one subscriber per video. LOL. Wonder why? Like I care. Like I've shown said in my last video. See, they don't know person or people, so they just shit out of not knowing what those people are doing, or just have no idea if they actually care about subscribers or views. That's fine. See, that's another one. Next, uh, this is let me see. Oh, here is smart, and then the reply from Professor, another keyboard, not a warrior, but he's kind of snarky. What in the world do these resellers think they do for society? And Professor, of course, with his very smart business reply, they believe they're saving the landfills. That's the popular one. The other one is something about being curators of good taste and creating availability. Easily debunkable. Hey, I didn't say any of this is rooted in reality. I'm just answering what they think they're achieving. Well, that's a kind of knock on resellers too. Uh, Professor, I know that already nobody cares about it because you've done already your own damage to damage everyone's kind of feelings in a way. And some people don't even care. See, that's what I'm saying. And some people will tell me from the community, all right, that why you care so much. And the thing is, I'm a person lives with some emotional feelings about certain things. Like, when someone like that comes out and starts criticizing someone else, um, and of course, those particular people may care less because, like I said in my video, they're not gonna lose subscribers or sleep over this. Not gonna lose their followers who buys their memberships or buy their classes or whatever they can buy on their channel. I don't think it's gonna happen. So, Professor, You can try, but nothing will happen, you know. So next, we got the thriftwear C1B. The second-hand embarrassment is definitely there. And here's another one. Bro, you look like a labubu. That cuts deep. This is from Shishton. Funny thing is time 9:46 in the video when holding the labubu, it looks identical to this Roman guy. LOL. See, another keyboard warrior. You know, that's the thing about it. That's actually not that bad as whatever. It's just kind of funny. But let's see what else here. See this Petsy D3735. First guy super cringy. He should consider taking that down, but it's probably too late because the internet is forever. As for Roman, it is not often that I am rendered speechless, but here we are. He rambled on like a loon, and near the end, if you turn the sound off, he reminded me of George Costanza from Seinfeld when he did Coco the Monkey on Seinfeld. Jerry, it is the most intelligent. That's professor's reply. So this is another. Um, See, the warriors. The problem is they don't make their own videos. They can only shit on people, and they don't know their lives. They just shit on people thinking they know everything. Like Professor. That's why he attracts this loyal crowd of his. So, and then this particular one was actually. See, this one is normal. This guy, Mr. Exquisite. Mason, I have to agree. This place is a marketplace of ideas. We may not all agree on here, but there is so much in common that those disagreements can be debated. There is no hard feelings. I've never had a bad experience on here disagreeing with some of the commenters. I think it all boils down to the high level of cognitive ability in everyone here that does comment often. Oh, I think Roman expects you to make a video of him, which you did. LOL. He wanted you to. Not sure what his goal was because everything he said was just not you at all. I hope he's okay. So this dude, this particular user, I mean, he's fine. I mean, he didn't write anything bad. He didn't put anyone down. He was intelligent about his comment, right? So I mean, even when he said that, I said something. Well, I said stuff about professors that's not him. I mean, there are a lot of people. Like I said, you get his loyal followers. Well, of course, most of them, 95% will agree. But if you ask people in the reselling community, I mean, we'll see the answers, you know, Professor, how they feel about this. So next one is another one. Cat missed C6C. Roman reminds me of Hugo, the abominable snowman from decades ago. The cartoon character that used to say, "I will name him George, and I will hug him and pet him and squeeze him." In my opinion, Roman seems unhinged yet lovable. Yeah, so this one is not bad. I mean, that person at least, you know, seems unhinged. She doesn't know me. They don't know me. His viewers, they don't know me. They don't live with me. They know how I am, how I can be, you know, in real life, especially when I get out of hand. It gets out of hand on certain levels. It depends on the situation. But people have emotions, guys. You have to understand. People are not AIs, they're not robots. They cannot sit there like Professor, like this, cut down scenes and really, real, like, you know, like he shows no emotion. He has emotions within himself that he thinks he's too smart. But I mean, how are you gonna live emotionless or think that people that have show emotion or do some stuff are all like crazy? Like, you know, it's stupid to think that way. So anyway, I'm surprised he didn't criticize the breathing oxygen. Um, See, this guy is actually the thrifter picker upper 3584. To be fair, that Roman guy was kind of funny. See, that's normal comment. Roman JT underscore 4000. Roman versus James and Cage Mage with only reseller rulers are weapons. First to measure the inseam of other wins. So this is kind of comedic humorous. Um, there is This one is one of the most messed up ones. This is Dale Taco 835. I ain't an immigrant, and neither were my grandparents. So F off. That's another intelligent guy, intelligent follower of his. Uh, best show ever. These guys are nuts. Oh, this dude. Yeah, DB 2807. That Roman guy is deranged and stupid. The haters will hate, and their rebuttals are absurd no objectivity. Keep calling them out. I love watching them to try to refute your arguments. See, that's another idiot, another keyboard warrior, like Professor claims, another guy that apparently doesn't know the person. He just claims out of the air, like he thinks that he knows me or someone else. Like he been with, like I've known the guy for 25 years or more. I mean, it's another idiot. That's the thing about it. Like, see, unbelievable that those people like, and guys, as you guys learned, whoever been doing content for many years, there are many of those types of keyboard warriors. They're always gonna be there. Unfortunately, they will always put people down. That what makes them. They probably when they do it, they like jerk off to it, right? Like they start jerking off. Oh, we feel so good, so brave that we're hiding behind our freaking keyboards typing this. We're gonna have an orgasm right now after we put someone down. That's what happens all the time. Those types of keyboard warriors, unfortunately, happens all the time. Even on videos that don't have emotional people. Um, so I think Hollywood reseller. I think what happens is that some YouTube. I think what happens is that some YouTube resellers who seem to be in group specs don't realize that there's a larger group of regular resellers who won't always agree with every single that they say. For example, one seems to belittle resellers who work a 9 to 5, but when you called him out, he got his feelings hurt. Then there are some resellers who love to sell drama for content. Not sure if that's good or bad. And then Professor Pegasus replied, all I know is that no one ever makes a rebuttal video about anything I ever said. It's always whataboutism. In today's case, I'm also a racist and religious bigot who picks on the disabled. By the way, about that situation, professor actually in a video kind of snarked, like he did a cutout with me saying, oh, you're mentally disabled? Professor, once again, being a medical professional, not just a replenishable business person, diagnosed people, diagnose the viewers and other people, diagnose other people, without medical degree. Not a good thing, professor, not a good thing. Maybe you're good at business understanding, but not medical, not medical. Sorry, dude. And then there are a couple of familiar idiots that I want to talk about. This is one of them. Finders Keepers 4268. She was actually in one of the comments she left for one of my videos, which I will show you later. So it's 2:39, so it's like I've been doing this video 40 minutes. So bear with me, guys. Professor Pegasus videos are longer. So she wrote, wow, 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 mental illness is real. Holy moly. Roman, poor calculator. I can't, I'm dying. See, another one, another doctor of psychiatry. There is some, apparently, like, professor is rich with his followers, with his loyal followers, who are apparently doctors of psychiatry and psychology. So they're probably making really good money here. So they put a diagnosis on people, medical diagnosis of what people suffering from. You see, that's another one. That's Finder Skippers. She actually was in my comments and I replied to her, which I think she was. We'll see in one of the videos. And then there is this dude. This is one of the advanced covered. It's a keyboard warrior covered of all the prevail, as they say. This the OC North Flipper 8113. He wrote that long-haired friend of Jesus is 100% wanker. If you ever meet him, flick his hair off his head. The poor guy will cry his eyes out. See, this dude comes out from hiding somewhere in the basement where he lives with his parents still. So he comes out like from hiding. He's like, oh, I see that professor put out another criticism video about the guys. Just gonna get my golden keyboard. Where's my golden keyboard? and attack those people. And then he wrote about me. Does that Russian guy have a dead possum on his head, or is it a wig? Yeah, yeah, it's a wig, man. It's a wig. Let me take it off. Let me take it off for you, Osinor Slipper. Yeah, another medical professional. See, and that's a crowd that Professor Pegasus has, guys. This is just people. I'll show you my comments from the videos. You'll see it's from reseller community. You're not gonna see this kind of, idiotic crap in my comments from resellers. Um, so let's see what else here. So like I said, guys, were a lot of medical professionals calling me crazy, calling James crazy. There's recent comment somewhere. Let me see where it is. This like I said, there is a user Candice Hammer. I think it's good to expose IRBS, so there is definitely some of it being promoted. Oh my God, politically correct racist crap. LOL, spare me. So most I would say percentage wise were not calling names, not calling me crazy, not calling James crazy. They were just overall assuming the situation. And as you can see, guys, from 1.3K views, he only got 83 comments. So as you understand, a lot of smart people, which professor claims he's so smart, did not comment at all. And some people don't because they understand they at least have good manners, or they have they're intelligent compared to one of his loyal, the ones that are loyal, which I've shown you, this the North Flipper, that's his loyal one with golden keyboard. Warrior, I think Pegasus professor puts up a board in his hidden place where he ranks. Okay, Earth and North Flipper, keyboard warrior number one. Go attack that guy. Go write a bad comment. Then this Finders Keepers 4268. Then Griffin Contracting. And then, okay, so let me show you, because it's getting along. We'll go over other comments in another from his other videos. This guy, Rob K. It seems Roman is Russian to judgment. Once again, I'm not Russian. See, that's stupidity of people, guys. Unfortunately, by the way, I'm Jewish from Uzbekistan. So, see, guys, you're uneducated. See, professor also in this regard, he may be good at business, but not as good to understand where Uzbekistan is, what Judaism is, what's the difference between being Russian and Jewish. So apparently, he has difficult understanding those things, along with his some of his very loyal keyboard warriors, viewers, who hide in their places and come out with their small keyboards to type um, stuff and not do a video. See, professor, what you should teach your loyal viewers is, guys, you need to make videos. And they will say, what's for? We don't want to, do any videos. We want to hide in our basements. To be see this, at least this one is funny. To be clear, it's the 716 mark where I threw calculator. No handheld calculators were harmed in the production of this video. By the way, calculators were not harmed. Where is it? I had it somewhere, guys, here laying, but it's actually not harmed. It's okay. It survived. If you're interested, it survived. Calculator survived, guys. Nothing happened. So nothing broke to satisfy your disagreement. So here's I'll stop the screen, remove. Okay, so here's my comment section right here from one of the videos that I did, my points against Pegasus launch, criticism of other content creators. So let me share the screen right here. Stop screen, share. Let me see. All right, here is this video where I did my video about my personal points, like professor, not business points, cannot criticize I can do whatever I want. Okay, it's a free country, professor. So shut your mouth a little bit. And now he'll say, "Oh, look, he's calling me names." Now I'll call. All right, keyboard warriors, my loyal keyboard warriors. So here's my comment section. Here you go. Second chance speaker, who professor did a video about. See what he wrote in my comments. He wrote great points. There are many different business models that can work depending on what you want. How's that, professor? Someone did not agree with you all the way. Second chance speaker has a lot of subs. Next is Rod Relics, my good friend John. Vladimir Putin watches Pegasus launch, and actually Pegasus replied here somewhere. And I maybe not. Let's see if he replied on this one. No, actually, he didn't reply on any of my videos. He did it, I think, in Rod Relics, I think, video one time, or Rod Relics, John commented on his video about something about either Putin or I forgot what it was. I have to find it. But anyway, and then there's this guy. There's a keyboard warrior. That's a loyal Aussie North flipper. Papu's too smart to be reseller. He's a Russian Orthodox who would not have a second-hand belongings while other people on his property. They believe in people's bad energy being in belongings. You see, Professor, where the hell did you find this? Your loyal keyboard warrior, the Aussie North flipper. See this guy, guys. If I met this guy, he would be running for his life in different directions. Would not have to, fight. This guy would hide. He would be like, "Oh, I'm just have my keyboard to write stuff and shit on other people." All right, next. So then there is a jewels and crime, which I didn't reply to that one. What exactly are the important overlooked facts? That's fine. They watched the video. I mean, whatever. They see the people think that there were things that I said that were mostly personally related things, because I don't specifically will, dive into too deep into business and professor things I don't understand, kind of in his head. All right, next we got, let me see if this was from John, but it was a funny comment. And there is Orson or Slipper. John said, I always have points and no stupid points ever unless you ask my wife. Pegasus is just making money and selling his class or video or whatever. Follow the money. Right, Pegasus? See, well, we have to have some balance, Pegasus. Your loyal viewers. And then, of course, Aussie North Flipper, old Peggy, would have money in Chinese currency. If you had any sense, I've been told by my elderly Russian neighbors they believe that the ruble's gonna crash soon. Yeah, that's. Oh man, the Aussie North Flipper. Professor, tell him not to shit anymore. Call him out. Say, Aussie North Flipper, I'm tired of your big keyboard warrior. uh, this isn't what he's doing though. He isn't trying to sell anything. That's from his full followers. Indie photo guy. Yeah, indie photo guy actually. He was in that video that he did on Min James. Forgot where his comment is, but he wrote something too. Um, and then of course Aussie. Peggy is not selling a course or membership. You got it wrong. And he pointed out so many times he's selling the opportunity to help his viewers to import goods to sell. Where a normal reseller has to photograph, list every single item the way he runs his business, is he and he does at once and just replenishes his supplies. How to spell a way of running a business and he charges a fee to help you do that. I find it bizarre that you use all attacking and you never get anything right, whereas he only states facts. And then DC Gaming, where's the link to his class? Everyone keeps stating this and there's nowhere to pay. Show me the link. Anyway, and then Phil 5 Dime, my good friend Phil, not a fan of that channel. This is Bobby, Roman. Then India, that's another one, another key. That's Indie Photo guy actually was in his comments all the time. Truth hurts. You can argue with you can't argue any of the facts that Pegasus brings up because he's right. He talks about facts, not opinions. But I don't care in the photography. I will argue with him about my opinions and feelings. So I don't give a shit what he argues about. I have a right to argue my own ways. So if you don't like it, just leave it to yourself. You know, if you want to be a better reseller, you should pay attention to what he has to say and not catch feelings. In the photography, I've been reselling for many years. You know, there are people in reselling communities that have been reselling for many years. Do they struggle? Ask your buddy professor. Ask him. Mr. Sadie, his methods are old news. He has nothing new to add except insulting other old news methods. Kind of funny to watch, really. You see, Mr. Sadie, 100%. So then this dude from a couple days ago. I would say 99% of what you said is totally wrong about Pegasus. Sorry, but just sound like your butthurt. Maybe you change your channel from Reseller Life to Reseller Hates Life. Because all you're doing is complaining about something you have no clue about. Believe me, my friend, Rich, not my friend, Rich Book 1480, I know perfectly all about it. So don't claim something you don't know, about things about me. Maybe do some research where you bash someone, Mr. No Life. The thing about it, to his loyal followers, as I said in my last video, I will criticize him just for fun of it, because he does it to other content creators who don't do it on him. Do you see other content creators do videos about him because they just don't care, about this? So it hurts him inside. It hurts him. He's like, man, why is Roman is the only one doing those no point critical videos of me? Nobody else. Josh Gall did once. And then Chip, the king of eating chips, the chips guy, professor, was eating chips and said, oh, Josh Gall agrees with me with everything. I'm so happy I'm gonna jerk off. So happy about it. My life got fresh start. God shines on me now that Josh Gall agreed with me. To the fact, right? And Josh Gall came out and said, yeah, professor has good points. But in reality, Josh Gall is a part of reselling community. He may think certain ways about business, which a lot of other people think, but they don't freaking bash, criticize people who do their hard work, as many resellers do. I'm not gonna go into other comments today, guys. It's a long video. I apologize. We're gonna do it next time. It's almost an hour long video. But Josh Gall doesn't bash other content creators who have been doing it for years. He doesn't come out and say, oh, you said this is multi-quantity, but it's not correct. I mean, it's replenishable, but it's not correct. It's multi-quantity. Josh Gall doesn't do this crap. Point out to people who said this, right? Professor, which I said in the last video, or his loyal, some of his loyal disrespectful keyboard warriors. People don't do that kind of crap, right? You're happy. His loyal followers are so happy that there is this guy, God, Professor Pegasus, we're gonna carry you to the altar. We're gonna kiss your feet. We're gonna kiss you all over the place. We're gonna jerk off to any of your videos of you criticizing other content creators. We're gonna have great orgasms. Now that Finder Keepers woman. Oh, Roman. Oh my, Roman, you're crazy. You're crazy. Hallelujah. You know, sometimes the people, medical degrees, always forget the medical people in Professor Loyal followers. You know, the thing about it is people come out and say crap because they only know that I don't know anything about business. I I own my business numerous times. You idiots. Loyal Pegasus Professor followers. I've been in business with partners. I own business. I own a business different times with computer repair, data recovery. Still do data recovery. So what do you know about me? Oh, now we kind of. And then they ask, why are you then critiquing Professor Pegasus? I'm critiquing Professor Pegasus because of his unruly behavior, criticizing someone who he thinks does it on purpose, or critiquing some people, some content creators, thinking that that's gonna change anything, that it's gonna shut down their channel, it's gonna destroy their viewership, it's gonna destroy, remove, they're gonna lose so many subscribers. It ain't happening, Professor. You know, it's not happening. As you claim, Josh Galt agrees with you all the time. Good for Josh Galt, but he doesn't shit on other content creators within this community. He doesn't go into John flipping in easy, you know, chat or live and says, "Oh, John, listen, buddy, I don't care that we're friends and do podcasts together. What you said that low STR items can sell fast, or they sell for variety of reasons differently, and then you changed your mind about it." He doesn't do that, doesn't he, Professor? But you and your loyal idiotic keyboard warriors will come out all the time and shit on people. That's because they're cowards. They don't know better, you know. They're cowards, and unfortunately, there are people like the Miss Unites and Wild Bill who are absolutely normal, and some other ones that I read that were normal, that are intelligent, that don't tell people they're mentally disabled. They have what is this word? They're loons. They are mental. They have mental issues. Um, and your followers probably, like you, Professor, will laugh at someone like this. In my opinion, since your ego is so high, you're probably gonna laugh at people who have mental disability and put humiliate them. That's what you're good at, also probably not just your business practices, but humiliating people who in reality may have mental disabilities. How that makes you a man or even a human being or your loyal followers? That's what I was talking about in my video where I threw a calculator because it made me angry. Because sometimes you see that crap happen, people's being in a wheelchair, and someone I've seen it in my life. It thankfully I've seen it very low amount of times. Where I saw a person laughing at someone in a wheelchair, or saw people laughing at people with definite mental disabilities. How does it make you a human being? Are you gonna put a video of such people on your channel and humiliate them and say, "Oh, do you have mental disability?" And then make your fucking loyal followers of yours who have no fucking intelligence laugh at that. Call them deranged, call them unhinged. You probably the person who gonna go to the mental institution and start laughing at those people, saying, "Oh, look, they're all unhinged, ha ha ha. They're all deranged, ha ha ha." How does it make you feel? You're a business person, as you identify, professional business person who has degrees. That may I will make a humiliating video of someone. I don't give a shit. I'll just get views from it, maybe some money. Then I have Orsi North Flipper bring out his golden keyboard. type shit up to put people down and others, calling people deranged. But I'll be making more videos. Nothing will stop me making those videos. As long as you're gonna continue making videos about content creators from the community, I'll be making videos about you. So thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Sorry that may have angered someone in my video about my accent, throwing stuff. I apologize. My emotions got ahead of me. It happens a lot because people don't know my life. They assume, they just call you names: mentally disabled, deranged, loon, unhinged. Few things that fuck you. Take care, guys. Have a great day.